Welcome back to the Awakenedyou channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things occult and esoteric, from the witchy to the supernatural to the spiritual and the quantum. If any of that sounds remotely interesting to you, please hit the subscribe button and join our little community. So today we're diving into what might be closer than you think: monitoring spirits. These aren't just the non-physical kind. In fact, they most commonly show up as the people in your life. These can be friends, acquaintances, even family. Yes, even those closest to you can act as monitoring spirits, and sometimes they don't even realize that they're doing it.
In the simplest terms, a monitoring spirit is an energy or presence that's watching you, almost like they're keeping tabs on what you're up to. They can bring energy into your life that's subtly disruptive, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. And in our age of social media, it's easier than ever for them to be watching. Whether it's that friend who watches every story, every post, but never has a kind word to share, or a relative who seems a little too interested in your life without really showing any encouragement. Here's the thing: when people observe you, their energy alone can affect you, even if they're not meaning to. And as we know, one basic fact about our reality is that things change when they're observed. There are subtle energies at work here, almost quantum, because the eyes are both receptive and projective. Eyes don't just take in information, they can transmit energy. This is why someone's gaze can pierce, cut, even if they aren't conscious of it. This is also how the evil eye can be placed on you, even if it's unintentional or subconscious. That's how monitoring spirits operate. Their eyes follow you, but they're not simply watching. They're unconsciously sending energy, sometimes negative, sometimes envious, that resonates with the force of their unspoken intentions. So people might be giving you that little nudge of bad luck, or sending you the evil eye, without realizing that their jealousy, doubt, or subtle criticism is impacting you. Sound familiar? Maybe you've noticed that certain people always want to hear what's going on in your life, but when you share your plans, they often fall through. Or you tell someone about a new project you're working on, and all of a sudden, obstacles start cropping up. If you're wondering who these monitoring spirits are in your life, start paying attention to the people who consistently follow along but don't bring anything positive to the table. Look at those who watch your every move but rarely celebrate you, who seem invested in your business but are silent when things go well. That's monitoring energy. It's subtle, but it's there, and it can weigh on you. So here's my advice to protect your energy. Think about what you share and who truly needs to know. Some projects, goals, and dreams are precious. They deserve a little secrecy until they're ready to shine. Just like with ritual, keep certain things sacred, between you and your guides, ancestors, or even just yourself. Not every plan, wish, or dream needs an audience before it's ready to bloom. And with that said, I'm sharing a few more videos that dive into how to recognize and protect yourself from this type of energy. Before we dive into more, please like the video and feel free to add your own experiences in the comments below.
If you know that there's someone around you that is a monitoring spirit, block them. Because what is a monitoring spirit? A monitoring spirit is someone that sits back and watches everything that you do. They are preying on your downfall. They don't miss a story. They are watching everything that you are doing on your social media. They won't like a post. They won't like a story. They won't comment on anything that you post on your social media, but they watch.
So how's your dating life going? It isn't. You haven't been on any dates? No. Met anybody? No. Are you even on dating apps? No. Plan on getting on dating apps? No. So you're just happy being single? No. Do you have a will to live? No.
Be careful with people who like to ask too many questions. In my job, there is something called a need-to-know basis. So if you are requesting information that is outside of your clearance level, you will not be granted access to that information. This is a concept I apply in my personal life. If you are not within a certain deviation from me, there are certain things, there is certain information about me and my life that you do not need to know. And the reason my company and the government does things like this is because when the wrong information is put in the wrong hands, we get disasters. And these are disasters that can be avoided by privacy restrictions. But there is absolutely no benefit to being extremely accessible and to having everything about you, everything about your life on full display. We see it with celebrities all the time. At some point, that level of openness to the public becomes extremely detrimental. So don't allow people to extract unnecessary information from you under the guise of checking up or making sure that you're okay. If they don't need to know something, let them know that this is not their business, or simply don't respond.
Okay, trust. I also was like, what is a monitoring spirit? And after some digging, I found that it's basically a friend who keeps tabs on you, who monitors you, who watches your every move, but makes it seem like they don't. So they're going to watch all your stories and see all your posts, but they won't interact with them. They have a hidden agenda. okay? Their intentions for you are not pure, they're not genuine. Their relationship to you is rooted in envy. So they'll take a lot of interest in your personal life. They'll ask you about, your love life. They'll ask you questions about your goals, your hopes, your dreams, but not to genuinely support you. It's to sabotage you. It's to find roundabout ways of making you doubt yourself. They want to identify your weak spots. So babe, if you notice this energy in your life, I would trust your instinct and reevaluate.
So many people have a monitoring spirit and they don't even realize it, or like an envious spirit, the people who will always be in your views, never in your likes, never say congratulations, never say happy birthday, have nothing to say to you when you're going through anything. Like, they are just watching your life. Sometimes they might hit you up, hey girl, how you doing? They don't actually care. I've grown out, finally. I have finally grown out of the whole, I'm gonna keep them on my page so they can see how I'm doing. No, if you're not wishing me well, get away from me. I'm not changing my heart posture. I'm still going to be loving. I'm still going to be caring. I'm still going to be supportive. I'm still going to carry the light that I carry. But you got to go.
Monitoring spirits are a real thing. That's not just a trend. People who like you the least will watch you the most. They are on the front line. They're the first ones trying to figure out what's going on with you. They can't wait to rejoice at your pain. They cannot wait to make any downfall of yours a kiki. They can't wait to clap while you cry. All that tells you is that they need healing and they are still hurting. That should not affect you. Okay, I posted that my door got kicked in at 2 a.m. while me and my 8-year-old daughter was in here, and I got a message like this. All that lets me know is this person watches me like a hawk in the sky. They are the first to figure out what's going on with me. It ain't even been a whole 3 days. Okay, it also lets me know that they're still hurting. And even the people who don't like me and rejoice at my pain, at my downfall, those people, I want them to heal too. I want you to schedule a session with the lady. I want you to get the deliverance and the healing and the restoration that already has your name on it. Go get you some healing. I'm not even being funny right now. Please, go get you some healing quickly.
Monitoring spirits. What are monitoring spirits? These are the people that sit back and watch everything that you do, prey on your downfall. These are the people that don't miss a story, watch everything you post on your stories. But anything you post, they won't interact with it. They won't like it. And I'm here to tell you, you're not tripping. Like I say, I used to be on the other side, so whenever I hear people say stuff like, this person watching me, or I be thinking, it ain't that big of a deal. It ain't that deep. You get what I'm saying? You're not tripping. You got people sitting back praying on your downfall. That could be a friend, that could be a distant friend, that could be a coworker. You get what I'm saying? And you'll know if it's somebody that you know in real life, somebody that you come with contact with. Whenever you're discussing the things that's going on in your life, when you bring up something good, you can kind of see the disappointment. But you got to pay attention. It's that split second before they got to play it fake, because they're going to show their true intentions the second it slip off your tongue. When you say something that ain't really going your way, you can kind of see the excitement in their face. You get what I'm saying? And they'll want to talk about it more and more and more and provide fake comfort. You get what I'm saying? But whenever something's going good, they don't want to really talk about it. Understand me? But most of the time, it's the people that you know in real life that watch you over the internet but don't interact with nothing that you do. These are monitoring spirits. These are people that sit back praying on your downfall. That's why you got to keep your moves to yourself. You can't announce everything to everybody, because everybody don't want to see you do good. Understand me? People got spirits to them. Everybody got a spirit to them, whether it be a good or a bad one. And don't think that it ain't no spiritual warfare going on through this here internet, because it is. That's why you got to protect your peace. How do I go about monitoring spirits? I done blocked a few people. Oh yeah, I done blocked them. And some people, I unfollow them. Put the heat on. Because they're watching. I'll turn the heat up on their ass, excuse my French. But see if they want to unfollow back, if they want to, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? They want to cast themselves out. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. But then I know what's going on. That gives me more reassurance of what's going on. It's like, all right, bet, I see what I'm up against. But I like to say this too. You can't be too You can't be a participant. You got to be an inspector. You get what I'm saying? Do what you will with it. Block them, unfollow them, whatever the case may be. But don't be announcing your moves around these people, because these people don't want to see you do good. They want to see you fail. They get enjoyment out of that. Understand, these are low vibrational people. So they seek enjoyment out of seeing people fail. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, monitoring spirits, protect yourself and protect your peace. As within, so without.
The easiest way to tell if someone is a monitoring spirit is if all they do is ask you questions. How? Where? When? Who? Okay, how'd you do that? Girl, volunteer some information about yourself. Flip it back to them. And if they flip it back to you, they're just here to monitor. I'm just saying.
Monitoring spirits do not just live on Instagram. They are walking amongst us day to day. Here's one way where you can tell you're in the presence of a monitoring spirit. If you talk to someone and you walk away and feel like you were just in an interview, you, my dear, were in the presence of a monitoring spirit. These type of people are very clever in fetching information. They are sneaky. They will pop up into your life and ask you rapid fire questions. How's your family? How's your relationship? How's that job promotion? How are your kids? How's your health? The thing with these questions is they seem very innocent if you just look at it, but really they are hoping you go into details. You see, these are people who live very dull, boring lives, and the only time they are interesting is when they're talking about other people. Usually, they will ask you these questions, and guess what they're gonna do? When they go back to their group of friends or whoever, the first thing that they're asked, how you doing? How's life? What's new? Instead of discussing their boring life, they're gonna bring you up. The first thing that they'll say is, guess what's happening? You know what? Your story makes them that much more interesting. Without your intel, they are nothing. They're not interesting. They lack personality. So they're going to come draw from the well. When the information runs dry, they come back again. I recently had a monitoring spirit contact me and ask me a bunch of rapid fire questions, and I clued in really quickly. I'm seasoned at this. So my answers were very dry, very final, very one-word answers like period, not question, not anything to engage with them. How's your family? Healthy. How's your relationship? I'm blessed. How's your health? Grateful to be alive. How's so-and-so? That ain't none of my business. See, that's the thing. They're hoping you also discuss other people. They're hoping to get a well of information that they can take back to other people. Be really careful. And another thing is they'll say, oh, you came up in conversation. But then you ask them, what were you talking about that I came up in conversation? And they'll give you some reason, some BS excuse about how you came up. But really, they were talking about you. And the only reason this monitoring spirit is reaching out is so they can get more information, because they're not in your life like that. They can't get the intel because everything is on a need-to-know basis. So by them coming back in your life, they're coming to the well of information. Stay alert. Another thing, beware of people who are constantly talking about other people. Like that's their main personality. They lack personality. They're just, every time you ask them how's life, they're talking about other people. That, my friend, is a monitoring spirit. So next time you talk to someone and it feels a little too much like you are in HR having an interview, you, my friend, are in the presence of a notorious creature we call the monitoring spirit.
People are watching you a lot closer than you think, but you're too busy watching others to notice. There's someone from your distant past who is thinking about you, monitoring you almost every day, and chances are, if you found out who it was, your mind would be blown because you have no idea what kind of impact you actually had on this person. Look, your phone might be dry, your DMs might be empty, and you might think you're being low-key, but someone is watching you closely. Some people like to call them monitoring spirits. Others, watchers. They're not in your likes and especially not in your comments. Some of them love you so much but are afraid to tell you. They're afraid to be seen, so they just watch from a distance. And others of them hate your guts, but they watch and monitor how you move every day. Each and every one of these watchers, whether they love or hate you, cannot take their eyes off of you because you inspire them. For the ones that love you, they look at you with admiration. But for the ones that hate you, seeing you just be you every day is a constant threat to their ego, their pride, their self-esteem. So no matter how invisible you may feel, just know that for them, you're center stage because...
Oh my gosh, I saw that on Instagram. All your pictures were so great.
So you did see him?
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because I was going to ask how come you didn't like any of them.
What do you mean? I just said I did.
Well, no, all my other friends who saw my Paris pics, they clicked like. You were the only one who didn't click.